You know that feeling when you're watching the clock and the second hand just crawls? Now imagine if it didn't.
Imagine if, right now, every single clock on Earth, the one on your phone, the microwave, the big clock in Times Square, suddenly started ticking twice as fast.
This isn't just about the clock showing the wrong time. In our world, a clock isn't just a thing that tells time, it's a thing that defines it. So what if the definition changed? What if a second was suddenly half as long as it was a moment ago? Let's break down what that really means. The first thing you'd notice is the chaos. Your 30-minute lunch break would be over in what feels like 15 minutes.
That movie you rented? It would be done in 45 felt minutes, and you'd probably get a late fee because the rental system thinks you kept it for the full 2 hours. Your 1-hour workout would be a brutal 30-minute sprint. But it gets weirder. Think about money. Interest on loans and savings is calculated per second. With seconds now flying by twice as fast, compound interest would go into overdrive. Debt would balloon. Savings would theoretically grow faster, but the global financial system would probably just have a meltdown and freeze all transactions before you could cash in.
And what about our bodies? We're run by a master clock called our circadian rhythm. It's set by the sun. But our internal seconds are governed by chemical reactions and neural pulses. Would those speed up too? This is where we hit the big, fascinating, and slightly terrifying question. The answer is no, probably not. Your biological clock wouldn't get the memo. The planet's rotation hasn't changed. A day is still the same 24 hours, the same slow, majestic turn of the Earth. The sun would still rise and set at the same pace. So you'd have a massive global-scale case of jet lag. Your body would be ready for bed, but your wristwatch, which now says you've only been awake for 8 hours, would insist it's time for another breakfast. Society would fracture into sun time and clock time.
Now for the climax, the big reveal. The most immediate and dangerous consequence wouldn't be in our calendars or our sleep schedules. It would be in our technology. Almost every piece of modern tech relies on a tiny crystal that vibrates at a very specific frequency to keep time. This regulates the processor speed in your computer, the timing of traffic lights, the synchronization of the power grid, and the mind-bogglingly precise clocks in GPS satellites. If all those clocks doubled their speed simultaneously, the digital world would unravel in minutes. The internet would collapse as data packets are sent and received out of sync. The power grid would fail as the alternating current falls out of phase, causing massive blackouts. Air traffic control systems would lose track of planes because the GPS signals, which rely on nanosecond timing, would be completely wrong, placing aircraft miles from where they actually are.
Cars with engine control units would misfire and stall.
Digital communications would turn to gibberish. We'd be thrust back into a pre-digital age almost instantly, all while staring at our phones, which are now showing 2 p.m. when the sun is barely at 10 a.m.
So, the wrap-up. If all clocks ran at double speed, we wouldn't live our lives twice as fast. We'd just be hopelessly out of sync with our own technology and eventually with reality itself. Time itself wouldn't change, just our ability to measure it accurately. The takeaway? We don't just live in a universe of time, we live in a universe measured by it. And changing the ruler changes everything we've built. It makes you appreciate that steady, reliable tick-tock, doesn't it? If your mind is racing, at normal speed, of course, and you have a what-if you've been dying to see explored, drop it in the comments below. And for more mind-bending scenarios, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.